in this example, this 127 is the mass number. So I have to give you the mass number. How do I get?
Is that dash between Barrera?
Yes, and it's not a minus. It's just separating the name from the number. Okay, I have to give you the mass number. How do I come up with it? Well, I just make it up. But I can probably look at I got a big book in the back, and they actually have all the isotopes on there and what they are. So for now, I just make it up, and I get a mass that's pretty close to the average weight. Okay, you can't make it up, all right, because I'm going to have to give you these in which for you to write them out. So let's do the top with information off the periodic table. So the protons we can locate when we find barium's atomic number. So barium's atomic number is what? What is it? Nope.
Or 137.3. Yeah, okay, that one over.
Okay, yeah, I made a mistake already, so you guys need to forgive me here because I wrote this down wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Okay, so I'm going to write 137. Please change that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
The other classes, I didn't have this written down. I did it on the board. I wanted to record this, and so I wrote them down and I looked at it wrong. So, repeat, barium 137. So let's look. How many protons does barium have? 56. Any questions on where we get that number?
Right there on the thing.
The atomic number above barium.
Protons?
So we know the protons if we know the element. And it never changes. That's always going to be the case. That is also known as the atomic number. So that means 56 is the atomic number too. Right? So if I say atomic number, I say number of protons, they mean the same thing. Atomic number just is a way to identify the element instead of saying protons. Okay? The electrons, if I don't see a charge anywhere, and I have not done any of these two examples, they don't have charges. They're neutral. So if it's neutral, how many electrons do we have? 56. Because they have to be the same. They have to be equal. Any questions with that? If they're neutral, then the negatives bounce out the positives, and it's a neutral charge of 0. The neutrons are going to be the difference between the mass number and the protons, because the mass number is the protons plus the neutrons. So we add particles in the nucleus, and we add them all up, that's the mass number. But if we want to find just the neutrons, we need to take and subtract the 2. So how many neutrons do we have? 81? Any questions on that? How to find it for that? Yes?
Okay, so did you take 137 minus what you said?
Yep. 137 would be both protons and neutrons. If I take all the protons out, which is 56, which subtract them out, then I'm left with neutrons, and I have 81.
Would you do it with like the decimal part?
No,
Okay.
because these are all whole numbers.
Okay.
They're whole particles. Okay, the atomic number, we've done already. The mass number is 137.
So what do you add? Do you get 137?
Protons and neutrons. Yeah, I give you the mass number. Right? In every problem, I give you the mass number. If I give you the isotope.
Wait, which ones do you add?
Protons and neutrons.
For what?
These two.
Oh man.
Protons and neutrons.
What did she ask a question?
Protons plus neutrons equals the mass number.
Okay, so you get the neutrons.
If I get the neutrons, I subtract out the protons.
Okay.
Just
That's okay. Hey,
It's
fine. What's the charge? 0. You guys will get this. 0.
how do you know the term?
0's my hero.
How do you know the charge?
It's always
They're
0.
equal. It's not always that, but if they're equal, protons and electrons, 0.
How do you know if they're equal though?
If I don't, listen, if I don't show a charge in the showing of the isotope, then they're always neutral. Okay? We'll show some with charges, but they're always neutral. This one's neutral. So if we look up, we don't have to look at the periodic table for this one. So this 53 is what? It's the atomic number. So that's the number of protons, which is 53. Let's go to mass number. 127. It's neutral. Electrons are 53. The mass number minus the protons is neutrons, so what would that be? 74.
Could you just do this the whole year?
No. Then atomic number is 53. The charge is 0. You're going, okay, I can handle this. Let's do 2 more.
No.
These have charges. You see the charges?
What?
You see the charges?
Yeah,
Oh,
alright,
so,
yeah.
so the charge is like -2 and 3.
Yep, -2 charge and a
There's nothing
+3
that it's
charge.
neutral, so it's 0.
And if I don't have anything there, it's neutral, it's 0. Like the first 2, I didn't show a charge, did I? Okay? So, why don't you do that except for the electrons? Do that one all the way across and exclude electrons, unless you think you can figure out the electrons.
Yeah, that's what I want.
We'll do that. You go.
Minus 2.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, so is there a number of protons and electrons always be the same?
No.
If it's neutral.
Okay.
If it's neutral. If it's neutral, they have to cancel each other out. If you want to do the bottom one except for the electrons, go ahead and do the bottom one. That's 26 and 56. Okay? So you want to do the bottom one except for now if you want to do electrons and take a guess what it'd be, you can do that.
How do you know,
Because it doesn't have a charge. So these have charges. If they don't have a charge, then they're the same. Yep.
For iron, you actually have the mass number and the atomic number.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so made another mistake. This should be 56 and that should be 26. So make sure you make that. So when you're in a hurry doing things, sometimes you don't write things right. That's what I do. So make sure that's 56 and that's 26. Okay, make that change.
That's 6.
Okay, we're going to do the top one. 34. What is it? 45?
Yeah.
All right, here's the key. Did you do this one right? 36.
What?
Okay? Now, why I have 36 is because it's a -2 charge, and I have 2 more negative particles. And electrons are negative. So if I have 2 more negative particles, that makes it a -2. The protons can never, ever change. You never change how many protons you have to base the charge off of. You always change the number of electrons. So if I have a -2, I have 2 more electrons. If I have a -1, I have 1 more electron. Okay? Atomic number is 34. Mass number is 79. The charge, of course, is EZ -2. Going across the bottom one, protons are 26. Neutrons are 30. Electrons, I got 3 fewer than 26. So it would be 23. Tom, okay, atomic number is 26. Mass number is 56. Charge is a +3. 3 fewer. So if you have plus, it means you have fewer negatives in that atom, and the protons, you have 3 extra protons. You never change the number of protons. They always stay the same. I'm going to go ahead and give this to you so you can practice this concept. All right? You don't have a lot of time, and just because it took time for me to go around and look at stuff. Yep. So try your hand at this. See how well you got to have this down. This is the last concept we're covering.
No.
It's a little bit better than the last one.